Danny Wheeler, past Commander-in-Chief, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War.
Well, they say that time doesn't stand still. Yet right now I feel it has. Because as you look around, you can imagine men running around, preparing a warship for better than any made, with parts made in many places. Will it hold its heavy iron? Will it float? Will the power of the ship move at great speeds? Will the torrent work better in battle? As we know, they could have not built a better ship and would change naval history and lead our country into modern warfare. Standing here today, 150 years later, is an honor for all. For this history also remembering the past, honoring our forefathers who had to love our country as much as we do. I see in the future this place with children and their children coming to remember the history here, because the museum will be here for all to stand on and remember. We need to thank today all that have worked hard and long to make this possible. And as General Grant said, let there be peace. Thank you.
Now I'll have remarks from Jeff Albanese, New York proponent, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War.
Thank you, George. I'm the great-great-grandson of Civil War soldiers. I'm proud of that. And on the way here, I had an opportunity to talk to Janice Wyman and also to George Wyman. I learned a few things. One thing I learned is tomorrow, which is the 150th anniversary of the launching of the Monitor, is George's birthday. I also learned that the Monitor sunk on December 31st, 1862. That's my birthday. And we're being towed by a ship, the U.S.S. Rhode Island, which is where I was born. But I was going to talk a little bit about the history of the Monitor, but when I had that discussion with, particularly with Janice on the way here, I thought I'd talk about something more. And that is the need to preserve this property. This is more than just a community historical site. This is more than a national historic site. This is hallowed ground. 16 of the men who left from this area to fight the Virginia down in Hampton Roads subsequently would lose their lives serving their country on my birthday. This is hallowed ground. This is historic ground. This is a national treasure, this area. This is also, what happened here is also of international significance. That ship that revolutionized modern naval warfare not only affected this country, it affected the world. And it is important to preserve that. And all of us need to go and try to help to make sure that happens, that that museum gets built here, and also to not just do it ourselves, but to tell our friends, our neighbors, our acquaintances, our senators, our representatives, our assemblymen, whatever, that we need to do that, not only for Brooklyn and for New York City and for the state of New York, but also for our country. And that's really something that's more important than most other things that we can think about this site. That is really something that we all need to do. And I think that as a Civil War Union soldier descendant, that it's my obligation to make sure that we try to do that. And as an American citizen, I think we should also do that. So, thank you very much.
We'll now have remarks from David Albert, Superintendent, Monitor National Marine Sanctuary.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I will make it brief, but I want to first say how honored I am to be here. Thank George and Janice and the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War and all of you who've come here to make this day special. As I was marching down here, I was taken aback by two things. One is the continuum, and it was even touched on in the homily today in church, about how all of us are playing a role. And I look around at the group here, there's probably 3-4 generations of people here, separated only by a couple generations from those who actually fought in the Civil War. But all of us are playing a role in keeping this story going. NOAA, the federal government, museums like the Mariners Museum, Marine Point Monitor Museum, all the reenactors groups, and everyone who sits down and tells the story of the Monitor and Merrimack to their kids is helping be assure that this history is never lost. And it's a history that's important, as all of you recognize, and it's a mission that I think all of us must take seriously, especially in this year. This event marks the first of a number of events that will take place over the coming year, ending on March 31st, as we honor those that were lost the night Monitor sank off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. For NOAA, we're honored to be here. We look forward to being with the Mariners Museum in March, where I think many of you will be as we honor the Battle of Hampton Roads 150th anniversary. And then NOAA has a number of other things planned that we'll share with all of you. We hope are working hard with a number of folks on Capitol Hill and with the Navy to try to get the 2 Monitor sailors who were recovered in the turret in 2002 buried sometime this year in Arlington National Cemetery as a way to honor, not put those 2 men to rest, but also to honor all 16 men who were lost the night that the Monitor sank. Our work also continues with the genealogy, trying to identify living descendants of those 2 men, which may or may not be possible. But all these things, and every time that one of you folks talks about the story of the Monitor, works on an education program, you're keeping that ship alive. And I want to thank all of you for that work. It's very important work, and it's something that means a great deal to me and to the United States.